Yeah, change his mind.
Welcome along, guys. It's finally race day and we are in Snetterton, and it looks like quite a nice looking Snetterton at the minute as Nick goes a little bit wide there. You're very welcome along. First time fully streaming on YouTube. I will obviously up all the settings next week as YouTube can take more. I'm so used to doing it on Twitch that I've just decided YouTube seems to be the better option for better quality streams, guys. But yeah, you're very welcome along. Second last race of this season, and what a season it's been so far. I'm expecting a few more drivers to hopefully come in before the start of the race. But yeah, great to have you all along here, and it's going to be very, very interesting as Niall is out there as well. Vic was in the pits, Fredrickson there as well, so we've only got a small few in. The championship leader is not in, and there's a good few missing, so hopefully they come in at some stage. But yeah, Snetterton here, a very, very narrow track, typical small British track, and it's actually a lot of fun. A lot of the guys were giving out there that they were finding it a bit tough, but for me, I think this is going to be epic, especially the likes of this corner can catch out. Not Fredrickson though. Solis there as well, doing a decent job in that Mercedes. So we have about 20-ish minutes of practice left. Coming 22 minutes. How are you doing, Mr. Richard? Well, Was the other Christie brother in today, or was he in a different split? I would have thought both of you were in the same split. Yeah, guys, what I'm going to do, sure, while we are kind of in the practice bit now, I'll run an ad, and then we'll get into the standings, guys. What do you reckon? And we'll have a look and see exactly what is what there.
So goodbye for us. You have to say it, baby. And us in Texas, you wanna try, baby. I know you can, I know your heart, and you will figure out you love me now, 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 love you now. I gotta leave you, love me now, 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 now.
Might as well keep the audio in of those beautiful cars. Now, as we can see on that screen, Antonio Asprey, the American, in first place on 159 points, but by no means is he out in the clear with the second last race. In second spot is the man, the myth, the legend, Chris Vickers in the Aston Martin. Double race winner, 2 races in a row versus Antonio's 1. Chris Vickers there could do something amazing here tonight, but then again, his heels aren't too clear, because in third place is Skylar Davis, 3 points off him. 1 race win to his belt, but he's been very consistent. Unfortunately, the last race was a very unlucky one for him, as he picked wet tyres at the start and gambled, but the gamble just didn't work out. Maybe he was listening to Matty Gamble, who knows. But yeah, so it's very, very close, guys, and even just 3 points behind him, we've got Fredrickson as well. How are you doing, Gary? You well? Fredrickson in 4 positions on 148, so realistically, I don't know who's going to win this championship. With 2 races left, it is so wide open. Technically, you could say the top 10 all have a chance of jumping up depending on the races. So Fredrickson there as well in 5th. Then joint 5th then is John Dudley and Jurgles, both on 132 points. They still have a chance of winning this championship. They just need to win the next 2 races and hope the other guys have a little bit of a mare, but we'll see how that goes. Then in, where are we now, 6th, essentially 7th position is Matty Gamble on 130 points, only 2 points off the guys, and is definitely getting stronger and stronger in that McLaren. Then we have an 8th place Richard Christie in the McLaren as well, only 2 points behind Matty. Like, you can just see how close this is the whole way down. Realistically, it's impossible to tell. It really is at the minute impossible. Then 3 points behind Richard is Tom Solis in that Mercedes. So with him there as well, 125 points. Then we've got Nick DeSantis in 10th position, 1 race win under his belt and 112 points. Then 11th spot we have the one that only Gary Smith, and anyone that wants to get really good tips as well, jump onto his YouTube. It's GS Sim Racing, and he doesn't just do ACC, he does AMS2 and an awful lot of other great sim racing content. I'd highly recommend Gary Smith. And he's on 102 points at the minute, but he's had a very, very tough time. He's came from running the Audi to jumping into the Honda NSX, and to be fair, he hasn't had the best of luck this season so far. Then in 12th position we have Ryan Harper, also on the Honda, on 99 points, joined with Ryan Swift in the Aston Martin on also 99 points. Then we have, it is Paul Venture on 97 points in 14th position. I was going to pull this up a bit. Then we've got Chris Tedder on 96 points in 15th position. And 16th position is Nelson Ambrinoza on 95 points. So, like, guys, it's literally 1 point. And then Sean Street on 94 points, another 1 point. This is just crazy. Then we have Adam Locke on 91 points in 18th position in that beautiful Bentley. Then we have Chris Schwann in his Porsche on 91 points, another 1 point behind. Then Ethan Smith is on 73 points in 20th position. Blake Morgan on 53 points. Niall Bullion on 42. Alex Moore on 41. Thomas Trollope on 28 points. And Jacques Vermeulen on 0 points. Unfortunately, I don't think Jacques has actually got to race much. So it's going to be very, very, very interesting, to say the least, on what is going to happen tonight, because it is anyone's guess who is going to be on top. But let's go back on. So currently sitting fastest in practice is this guy, Tom Solis. And let's see what he can do when it comes to when the real pace it really matters. Richard Christie in that beautiful looking McLaren. Not a bother with him there. Just tipping along. Happy as Larry. John Dudley out there as well. Last week's race winner. Actually, that was an Amigos. It was last week's race winner, I think. So that's tomorrow night, guys. But Dudley has got good form after winning a race there last Monday night. He fairly dominated, and it was a close one coming out of the pits from against Matty Gamble, but he kept his cool and brought it home in that Lambo. So I think his confidence might be running quite high, so definitely keep an eye out for him. Then we have Fredericks in there in that lovely looking Aston Martin. It's a car that I'm getting to grips with now, as I plan on doing a good bit of racing this coming year now with the SSRI Endurance, and possibly one or two other things, and I'm going to stick with the Aston and try and actually get a bit of pace out of it. Then third position in the championship, Sky in that beautiful Mercedes. Schlurm Mercedes from Futurama. Niall Bullion and Logistical Nightmares. I'd have to say it's a gorgeous look at M4. I'm not a big fan of the Bucktooth Monster, but they've done a very good job with how that looks, to be fair. And then Gary, the hard man Smith there, and the white NSX. It's my favourite abbreviation of all the liveries he's done. I really do love the look of that. It's just a thing of beauty. There's no other way of saying it. And looking forward to seeing what Gary can do today, because he is starting to get good pace in, and as I say, up in the second spot he goes. And yeah, looking very tight. So let's hope there's a few more guys going to join as we get into our last few minutes of practice, 15 minutes or so, and then we will be on to the main bit of racing. And I hope you're all going to get used to me being on YouTube now as well. So for me, I just think quality of stream is more important than anything else. I wasn't making that off Twitch, although I got really good support and close to 500 followers on Twitch, which is not exactly easy. But for me, it's all about giving the best quality stream, and it seems to be YouTube offers that experience a little bit better, and globally as well. Very interesting stuff here, and looking forward to seeing if anyone else is coming in. This is definitely the most sparse grid we've had in quite a while in tier 1, but it's still super close, so I'm hoping others can make it and get into this one and really bring back what's been a great season. Sorry, just doing this here. No, sorry, I was just looking at a few bits there. Santos, I'm expecting to be quite fast here today. Gary goes up onto pole and gives up then. This will suit Gary a little bit. The real Mandela Park heading him. Our national circuit in Ireland is small, narrow, and I'm assuming Gary would be one of those guys that enjoys a bit of Mandela like any other lad. Solis there doing a nice job. That Mercedes actually looking quite competitive here today, if we are honest. It's the kind of track as well, you either love it or you hate it. There's no in between. It's not like one of these, oh, it's not too bad. Like literally, I've seen people, it's literally been one or the other in the Discord. It's either I'm hating this or I'm loving this. Bumpy as fuck like Mandela, exactly. That's what I was thinking. I drove it earlier on myself, just giving it a quick go. And honestly, it has a real Mandela kind of vibe to it. No, I prefer Mandelo's layout, don't get me wrong. I'm an absolute lover of Mandela Park. Worked there for long enough as well. Yeah, 100%. Just needs momentum. It's, to be honest with you, front engine cars would probably suit this track a bit better, but you're pulling something great out there, and then Nick DeSantis goes up on the pole. Well, not pole, but top of practice. Storm still going nice and handy. I want to see what Nelson can do there. Fredrickson's up a little bit of time. Oh, as I say that, he runs wide. Second last corner as I turn 3, Mondello. Yeah, the kind of long blind parabolica. Well, no, it's not a parabolica. But yeah, it's kind of a long, dodgy fucker of a corner. I would it's very similar to it, but I think see, Mondello's one that kind of turns, it gets very tight, kind of coming at the exit of it. But I can exactly tell what you mean. It's just long, and you have to be so patient with the throttle. But at least in the Modelo one, it kind of straightens up slightly before you get on the braking point to apex into turn 3 properly. It reminds me more of Parabolica when you're going around the tires and just that long sweeping corner, because it's all about just being easy on the throttle. But then again, yeah, exactly. Titles went slowing. We really need to get Mondello onto this. Imagine going into tires on 1 and 2 in these cars. Be unreal. I'm going to jump on with Fredrickson again because he's actually up a bit more time again. Now, let me see what is happening here. I actually forgot to jump into the comms chat thing. I don't think there's anyone waiting though. I might as well just sit here just to be sure. Thomas Hagen's waiting to jump into split 3. I'm just going to drag him in for the crack. Right him on. Done. He's going to get some shock. But, yeah, I've opened that one. No, Nick DeSantis is out on another lap and he's up quite a bit of time. It's Nick starting to show his hand a little bit. Oh, the Porsche for me just seems to be the car that's really, after the buff took off, so many people are using it. And it seems to be just one of those cars that if you're able to handle that beast, by God, you'll be rewarded. Oh, what a lap, a 146.480. Lovely, lovely lap. Nelson not out yet. So sitting in there. I'm so used to the Aston Martin now. It's that fast the camera can't keep up with it. Mr. Asprey as well. What can he do here today? Antonio Asprey. He's American too. 3 Americans here. 3 Americans. Beautifully done. This sideways, sure wouldn't be like a Honda to be doing that. Keeps it nicely though. Richard Christie's up a little bit of time. Let's down with Richard. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. So that's some camera. He's pulling up a bit of time here. This quarter could really catch out if you get it wrong, but he seems to be doing all right here. Although he's lost a little bit of time since. So the McLaren should be quite nice around here. All about trying to keep the throttle. And now it's just absolutely hard on the throttle the whole way up. And it's going to gain up into about 4th position here by the looks of it. Yep, jumps into 4th spot and not a bother at all. Jumping back on with Antonio because Antonio is gaining a bit of time. You wouldn't even think he's still get up time there after running wide, and normally it'd slow down quite a bit. He's running really, really wide. I don't know how he's still up time because he's after gone a bit slower out of the corners. But he's still up a bit of time at present. Oh, that's a beautiful line through there. You just don't want to clip that car too much. Runs wide up. Carries quite a momentum. I think Tony has a few more tenths than we're seeing here left in him. If he's able to nail every bit of the track. Because he's gaining time, losing time, gaining time, losing time. So I reckon this guy here still has his sandbags, I'd say, in at present. But across the line now, he's going to surely jump up into about 3rd spot. Or even 2nd. 2nd spot he goes there. That was a lovely lap. As we're saying that, Mr. Gary here on a faster lap again. Let's see what Gary can do. He is a guy I'm expecting to be absolutely on it. Oh, ran way too wide there. You can see the front end going in. I won't say exactly how much time he was up at that stage. We'll see if he puts another lap in. Who's that off the track there? He's up a bit of time. He maybe struggling here a bit though, because he is still a little bit of time off at the minute. I suppose we'll only know properly. Oh, he's losing so much time there. We'll know when it comes to the actual main event. We still goes up a bit of time anyway. Guys, Antonio is absolutely on it. You can see him, he's literally trying everything. Oh, has he gotten out of it? He's got out of it. Ah, sandbags, I'm calling him, that's all I'm saying. I'm calling him sandbags. Antonio is seeing that. I love it. Oh, McGarry here at the minute. I see Niles up quite a bit of time as well. I'll keep an eye on that. Oh, it was nicely done by Gary there. Now that was a lovely one. Oh, he's lost a bit of time on the exit there. I think carrying too much. Okay, sandbags in for Gary there as well. I can see that. Oh, this is really bugging me. I want to know who is going to that. We're just on to wait for quali. Every time I think they're going to show in a fast lap, it's on with letting off the throttle or getting on the brakes. Jump on with Niall though, because Niall now have to jump up with 8th position there. Skylar hasn't... Geez, Skylar's off the pace compared to what I was expecting. Interesting, Sky. Interesting. Let's see what happens there with him. Boom, boom, boom. I only realised I have my stream down as live test. Whoopsie. But, I'm with Fredrickson there. I should be able to change the name of that, I'd say. Right, so... Beautifully done. So look guys, while we are waiting now, because practice is pretty much up, I'm just going to run the new livery, well the updated livery for ERA, and anyone who joins ERA gets it for absolutely free no matter what the car is, thanks to Christian Fengler.
Everywhere you go, diamonds in your skin, my blood flows. Bring the lion out, bring the lion out, bring the lion out, bring the lion out.
So now we are in the quali. And I'll just get everything out and ready. So guys, we have now 30 minutes of qualifying. This is anybody's game. And who is out first actually? So Skylar. Very, very keen to get going, he is. This is going to be interesting. Sandbags are now out. I think we've one more car than what Kyalami did for the 9 hour, but still, we're normally used to nearly double this in split 1. It was a very, very poor turnout tonight. Very, very poor. Nobody in the split 1 shot. There's no point me having that open anyway. So what I'm going to do, yeah, poker face is exactly, Gary. I'm going to go on board with Sky for this one. Just to show you guys exactly how tough it is. I'm telling you, not too far off him in fairness. bit wide Sky goes. Mercedes wanting to go sideways there, traction holding it back. He's done well to try and clip the apex a little bit. This corner can be very, very tough if you're not used to it. So it's flat out. He just wasted about 90 meters. He's done enough just to... He missed the apex a little bit and didn't let it run as wide as he probably could have. And this corner here is the tough corner here. You need to try and carry as much speed as possible without grabbing that understeer. And as I say that, now that's not too bad from Sky. Now harden the brakes, don't hit the sausage carb, and flat out now it's a drag race to the line. So the first lap of the day, a 1:46, and then Antonio 1:46.7. So let me see, we're going with John Dudley here in the Lamborghini. Oh, tiny bit on the sideways side of things there. Not exactly ideal for himself, but still very well done. Great job there, and over the line we're expecting what, 5th position? Yeah, you could just tell with the sideways action he wasn't going to be on it. We'll jump on with Gary here. Oh, you can just see that he's pushing it. The Honda will be mad to go sideways here. So it's all about keeping it just enough on it and back on the throttle, yeah. He's really playing with that throttle, he's flirting with it. And he's invalidated that lap as well. Not ideal, not ideal. Nick DeSantis goes on provisional pole for now. I'm going to jump on with Tom Solis here. There we go, go in that camera. Where does Solis put himself? Up into 5th position, not too bad. Not too bad. Richard Christie here. That McLaren does look very stable through there. And now it's all about avoiding the sausage carb and getting the best drive out. Richard, definitely one of the big improvers this season, I think. He's coming on leaps and bounds every single race. And with that up into 6th position. Great driving there, and Chris Vickers behind. Up into 5th he goes. And then that looks Nelson. So Nelson's only starting us off, so we'll start on with Nelson, guys, you know that. Let's jump on with Nelson. Oh, that's a bit better than looking directly at a big bar on the window. Let's see what Nelson can do now. Turning a bit of sideways, but lovely on the exit. Waits about 140 meters before he goes hard on the brakes. Oh, he has to let off a little bit. He was getting that understeer, and that might slow him the whole way. Oh, someone's hit the tires already. Hard on the brakes. Try and hit the apex. Oh, runs massively wide, but he's giving up on it now. Ah, unlucky, bro. So what is Gary up to? The Smithmeister. He's on and out of warm-up lap by the looks of it. He was saying there's poker faces going on. I'd actually truly believe it at the minute. Let's see what they come back to. Still on that poker face. Oh, a little bit wide, but comes back in. Beautiful, beautiful. Warming up those tires. Oh, he's really working the tires. So at the minute, Antonio is still with the fastest lap at present. So anyone just about to finish lap. Dudley is. He gets himself up another position. I think that's Gary now. So we're going to jump on for a lap with Gary. Have a look at the footwork and the steering input as well. Nicely done. Oh, runs a little bit wide. Oh, Gar. He was up on that one fairly quick. Fredrickson there, up into 4th position. Nick DeSantis here though is on a flyer. He's lost a bit of time though since I've got on with him. I seem to be his course every time I jump on with him. So let's see how he gets on. This should be provisional pole. Should be, and it is. By 0.062 of a second, guys. Wowzers. Great lap by Nick. So Dudley definitely finding it tough in the Lambo on this track. Oh, bit of sideways action going on there. Oh, Swift is after joining in now. Great to see another car in. Hopefully Matty Gamble gets in time. I'm not sure if he's going to be able. He's still going on you, which is the main thing. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see what Swift does. Going to give him a bit of airtime. Swift gives up on that. So Joe, we'll give Gary another go. Let's see what he can do now. Much nicer out there than I expected. Nicely done. He's just hitting the curbs nicely. He's about 120 meters. Honda just wants to kill him there, but traction control stops that from happening. Has to be very careful with this now. Lovely done, gets the apex perfect. You can see just how much time he's catching up with that. Looks like Boolean there. It's all about patience here, running nice and wide, carrying the speed now. So Boolean's on the brakes, just going to make sure he doesn't get in the way of Gary here, as he's aware there that Gary is on a fast lap now. Does Gary break at the 100 metre mark? Oh, he needs to get off that grass to Madhur. Oh, nicely done, nicely done. Missed the apex slightly, but doesn't matter. Carrying a decent bit of speed here. Oh, nice and wide. He had to be a little bit tentative with the throttle now. So this is the long right hander that will chew that front left tyre, but also you need to be very careful with the apex. That's lovely done. I think this might be his first time lap, and let's see where it puts him on the board. He was definitely catching up to Antonio a little bit there. Gary only as good as 5th though, but I'm sure there'll be more time in it. Now that his confidence is there, now he's going to carry more speed through, and let's see how he gets on here again. So I'm going to jump on with Antonio because he's only literally behind. So Antonio is up a bit of time here so far as well. Beautifully done there by Antonio. You can just see how he is even with the brake pedal there. Just look at the feet as well while he applies the brakes. Only a quick dab that time there, but the other time it was on and very easy off. Yeah, again, the same thing. He's very, very smooth with his inputs. Although the steering, because it's a Honda, is trying to kill him. Antonio's up quite a bit of time here. Very interesting. Possibly enough for provisional pole. Oh, beautifully set up. Oh, that curb, oh my god, has ruined it. Oh, I won't say how much he was up there, but that is tough. That is very, very tough. We'll jump on with Boolean there now. So African Stallion, although he's one of the Scottish guys that races in Eleanor. Nice one here. Gonna improve and probably jump Dudley now, which is not too bad at all. And he does. He jumps Dudley then. So looking here, guys, we're only halfway through qualifying. Only halfway through. And while that's happening, guys, I'm just going to run a quick grid finder ad as well. Whoa, went into the wrong scene there. Just as well I didn't have my nipple clamps on. But yeah, on here with Boolean, trying to get up there. Swift trying to get a few bits of lap times in. Antonio's up a massive amount of time here. This could be provisional pole. Antonio is giving it everything. The speed is carrying there. Oh, lovely exit. Oh, this is a stonker of a lap. Unreal. What a lap time at 1:45.702, guys. Come on, hats off to this dude. Skylar though. Skylar, who I thought was maybe a little bit off the pace, up in third and improving. Skylar, the cheeky little mare, had mahoos of sandbags in practice. And is getting really to work that Mercedes. Well done, Sky. That's nicely done. Beautifully done by Sky so far. He's gonna improve his time because himself and Tom Solis have the exact same time of a 1:46.415, but not for long now as Sky goes in a 1:46.1. Great stuff there by Sky. Can Gary get himself back up? We know Gary has a bit more pace in him. Nelson is now in last position and really does need to get a time in because Swift there gets himself another lap time in. Dudley, he's really struggling in the Lambo here today. It just doesn't seem to be a track that suits the Lambo after his epic race win last week in Misano. On Monday night, he is the opposite end of the spectrum at the minute, unfortunately. Same with Richard out there as well. I'm expecting hopefully a little bit more for Richard as this race progresses. Just having a look through all the chats there, guys. Sky goes into the pits. Now, hopefully Matty Gamble can join in just before the end of this race. He normally seems to get in very late. Chris Vickers up a bit of time here as well. My boy Chris. He's more of a race pace kind of dude, not quality. So I always expect better from him in the race and not then in quality. You know, it is what it is. So let's see, but he is doing a great job there at present. And he's going to be up a nice little bit of time here. Could jump himself up if he's looking to around 5th, 4th position, 4th, 5th, who knows. 4th position, great job there. 0.030 of a second faster than Solace. And it certainly made the difference for him there. Now, Gary needs to find an answer. Solace needs to find an answer. Sky needs to find an answer. And Antonio, because DeSantis doing a stonker there, a 1:45.632. Now, Solace is finding a bit of time. He might have enough time to jump Mr. Vickers. Where is Mr. Gary? He's in the pits. DeSantis is in the pits. Oh, Solace was up a chunk of time and now has lost it all. Ouch. Jumping on with Nelson here now. Nelson needs to find at least about half a second to try and get by or Swift. Hard on the brakes. Oh, he goes for it anyway. Great stuff. Great stuff. Nice, nice, nice. He's got him by anyway, and that's the main thing. Grand job, but look, it's a lap in, it's a bit more time on him on the track. Niall Bullion out there as well. Dudley's up and Bullion's up. Dudley really does need to get up there because if Bullion increases and keeps going the way he's going, he could jump him, which is not exactly ideal for him. Nice looking car, that. Nobody's really improving other than Swift. Bullion's up a slight bit of time, but Can you make it to the end? That's the main thing. Losing the time there, but on the exit, let's see if he gets on. Much better exit this time around, and he's gained a chunk of time. Nearly a tenth of a second. Not enough though to jump by, but he's achingly close now. I'm gonna jump on with Swift as well. Swift is just pulling out a bit more time on Mr. Ambernosa there, so Nelson now has to find literally just over half a second to make sure he gets the job done. As Antonio Asprey here doing what he can. America 1, 2, 3. Nick, it's an American takeover, man. Oh, and Antonio's gone to cut the grass. Giving a bit of a flash of lights there. It's like Antonio just done that for you, Nick. But yeah, definitely the Americans quite strong here tonight. They've been strong all season, to be fair about it. They've really dominated the session so far and the season. And 2 more races to go. It's so wide open, so anyone missing the race tonight, you know, are really putting themselves in the back foot now, because it's super close between everyone. Absolutely crazy. So Richard Christie up a slight bit of time, but Swift is up a huge amount of time here. Let's see what Swift can do now. Hard on the brakes to go. Oh, Gary's up a bit of time now. He needs to find quite a chunk of time though. As he's nearly a second off now. Whoa. He's after losing so much time here. He does have probably 2 more goals at the cherry if he wants to take that by. On with Richard Christie is up with a nice chunk of time, and Richard could be jumping Gary. He's up a nice chunk, but not enough at the minute. He's lost a bit of time there, but can try get it back. Lost so much time there. Nelson though up with quite a much chunk of time, and Swift is less, well, just over a tenth off Boolean now. So very interesting there. Sorry guys, I'm looking at all the time and stuff here. Nice one. as we're now less than 2.5 minutes before quali is over. And then we go on for, I'll run that intro video again before the race start to give you something to watch for the 5-minute break that normally is. And we'll get going then. And it's a full lap formation lap before we get going tonight as well, guys. Nelson's up a bit of time, but just not enough. It's a tough track to get used to this. So nobody in the top 5 has decided to go again. Nobody. Nobody feeling worried. So it's an American top 3 at present, unless someone can pull a second or more out of their bum. Which would be quite interesting. I'd be shocked. Absolutely shocked. Napoleon, I think, is running too wide. There he is. I could just smell that one coming. Swift is up and chunk of time again. Swift coming out of nowhere. He's absolutely on it there. Looking at this here. Depends by the time he comes to the end. I'm not going to jinx him. He is fucking flying compared to what he was doing though. So Gary's given up. Swift though, being super swift. Christie is up a huge chunk of time as well so far. Swift though. Oh, he's after losing so much out of that last corner. Oh my god. He was up over half a second and now he's barely up 2/10. Oh my god. 9th place. It should have been more, mate. It should have been more. Swift, I'm feeling for you there. I'm really feeling for you there. Wow. So that's it, guys. That is qualifying over. Only 12 tonight. Very, very sad turnout. Not very happy with that one. I'll be throwing something into the chat afterwards. It should be double that or more. So, guys, I'm going to run the track guide again and I'll be back to you.
Yeah, change his mind.
Second in Class A, Wayne Mars and Tom Jackson.
Now, guys, so while we are here, let's go through the grid. I think would be the best thing to do. So, in pole position is the American himself, Nick DeSantis. Second place is Antonio Aspetti, another American. Third place, Skylar Davies. Fourth place, Chris Vickers. Tom Solis in fifth position. Gary Smith in sixth position. Fredrickson in seventh position. Christie in 8th position. Mr. Ryan Swift in 9th position. Dudley in 10th position. Bullion in 11th. And then we have Nelson in 12th as we are getting going. And my camera's gone mad because we're trying to catch up with everybody here. So let's jump on now. Didn't get enough time in, just about enough time. Got dragged away. So yeah, the next hour racing, it is anybody's guess as they're on the warm-up lap now, and obviously need to get those tires full of heat, full of energy and ready to go. Antonio with his hazards on. Antonio and Sky just having a bit of fun. And DeSantis there as well, just sitting out in front. That's it. I really do love his Porsche delivery as well. It's just, it's gorgeous. It really is a gorgeous work of art. And that's one great thing about a set of Corsa Competizione is, you know, you get to see the artists. You get to obviously see great drivers, great artists, great organisations running leagues like ERA. And, you know, a lot of guys doing comms. We're very lucky to have the 3 splits being commentated. You've got Kiki running on split 3. You have Limitless Marcus, so Limitless Productions you would have seen there. He's in split 2, and then myself, Horsebox Streams, doing a split 1. And the only difference for me now is that I'm moving to YouTube and away from Twitch. Look at that, look at Nicholas there, riding the brakes, keeping temperature in those front brakes. So, very interesting strategy there to build up heat. Sounds like he's still doing a little bit of brake riding. Yeah. Oh, he's backing everyone up a bit now. Antonio, mad to get going as well. Now, anyone in the Aston, I've learned off the start, is a sitting duck. Doing a bit of racing at LFM with Liam Smith, Matty Gamble and Glenn, having the greatest of times the last few nights, in fairness. But yeah, we figured out the Aston's very slow off the race start. I'm expecting the Porsche to be quick, the Merc will be quick, and the Honda is a little repping. So guys, here we go. Second last race of the season. Not the best grid we've ever had, ever, at all, by any shape or form of it, but we're going to get racing for the next hour, and it's going to be epic. And here we go with Nicholas DeSantis, an all-American top 3 in qualifying, and we are away. Tom Solis, though, looks like he's going to get the move done on Vickers. Although Vickers hangs it around and keeps it going, but Solis gets the inside line, and Solis is definitely getting that position done there. DeSantis stays where he is. Solis stays where he is. It's been very, very calm, in fairness, as we are on now. Although Dudley's got by Swift there at the back. So Dudley has got the move done on Swift, which is quite close at the minute. Very interesting there. So Dudley's up one, Nelson's up one as well. Chris Vickers, after dropping down 2 positions now, Chris seems to be struggling a little bit at the minute as Gary gets the job done there, but Gary's already a second off Tom Solis. Can he pull that time back in? So very, very tight 2 groups, you'd nearly say at the minute, even though he's only a second off. Nelson, though, looking to make a move on Swift. He's got a better run, but it just doesn't have the time. Although he's going to go for it, he's definitely going to go for it. Just unfortunately for him, didn't have the pace there. Sky, though, looking to make a move on Antonio there. He's getting very, very close. So Sky feeling a bit punchy. He wants to make up after his race last week as well. It was very, very tough for him starting on those wet tyres. It was the wrong set to be doing. But let's see how he does. Richard Christie here. I don't think he's going to have to run in a straight line while he's getting close. I'd be very, very shocked if Fredrickson loses out on the spot to him, which he doesn't. Not in a drag race. Through the corners, you might think so. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Fredrickson there. Let's get a little look back at that one. So what happens Oh, the camera's just gone off from there. Runs wide. Oh, and that's a big hit as well. Oh, that is definitely not ideal, but he's going anyway. That's the main thing. It's not showing major damage at all, to be fair. Oh, man. Not what you need happening at all. So Gary's still about a second off, but Solace now is about 1.6 seconds off Sky. So Sky and the top three, the Americans, in a race all by themselves there at the minute. Oh, Solace is going to lose a bit more time now to Gary here. This is great for Gary. That Honda in the straight line as well. So Gary's now half a second off. Looks like he's gaining more and more time. On with Dudley here. Dudley, oh, a bit sideways. Dudley is looking to try and catch up with Christie and get a job done there as well. I'm going to jump back to Bouillon here. So Bouillon and Bernoza and Swift in a little three-way battle. Fredrickson now, unfortunately, trailing the field after his bit of an excursion and most likely a bit of damage there as well. How much damage we will find out in the pits. So with ERA, it's mandatory fuel stop only. Tyres is optional if you are wanting it. I'd say tonight, possibly tyres could be a thing for maybe one or two of them, as this track is all about grip. It's all about pushing it through these corners. Okay, so Gary now is right on the back of Mr. Solace. Gary always has better race pace than he does quali pace in this Honda. And let's see what he can pull this week. As he's there with that Amigos livery. Oh, a bit wide on the curb, or high on the curb should I say. And kind of pulls off a little bit from Solace, but does pull a bit of time back. Dudley as well, sitting there with Christie. Looking quite an interesting battle. And job done. So there you go, 50-minute pit window. 5 minutes gone already, and in the last 5 minutes that pit window shuts, and it's a mandatory fuel stop. It can only be a splash and dash. Oh, as I missed Gary getting by Mr. Solace. Let's have a look. Solace gets that corner totally wrong, just enough then for Gary to get by. You do not want to be hitting the sausage curbs there. Solace just needs to put his head back in the game, because Chris Vickers, another man who always was great in the race pace side of things, is getting quite close as well. He had a tough first lap, but he's starting to get his feel, and he could be just bedding those tyres in slowly and hoping the tyres will last the full race distance. Sky as well seems to be just slowing down a little bit. When I say slowing down, not by much, he's only a second off, and he could be thinking about maybe preserving those tyres a little bit to come back later in the race, because Sky is fighting for this championship also. I'm back with Bouillon here and Nelson. Nelson Abernoza races an SSRI, if I remember, as well, along with Chris Vickers. Chris is an admin over an SSRI. On with Sky here now. Sky's after pulling back in a huge amount of time there, so obviously Antonio had a bit of a moment, because he's right back onto Sky and has given Nick about a second and a half, 1.7 seconds of an advantage now. So this is working out very well for Mr. DeSantis. Sky needs to get himself ahead of Antonio for the championship, at least, to keep the fight going, where it's going to be super close. So can Sky do something? I wouldn't be surprised if Sky starts to not be able to get by. Does Sky just go for the early pit stop, splash and dash, get in the free air and race his own race? Oh wow! As Amber knows it, pretty much lets him by with looks of it. He might have just ran a little bit wide, but either way, Mr. Boolean is now up and through. So if I was Sky here, I wouldn't be losing too much time to fight. And Sky is the kind of guy that probably, I don't think he would. Sky is very calm and composed. As Antonio takes the apex marker out of it. On with Solace here now, who is not dropping too far off Gary. In fact, he's fancying a bit of an attack with Gary. But Gary, oh, and as I say that, he loses a bit, and now Mr. Vickers getting very, very close again. Oh my God, he's really struggling there now. Vickers is through. Oh, Solace just needs to get his head back in the game because he's got Richard Christie all over the back of him as well. And Richard's been driving very, very consistent as of late, so he does not want to be losing that position to Richard because it will be very, very tough to get by, and he's gone wide again. Oh, not ideal what's happening here. And for Richard, at least it's not an overall drag race because Richard had the better exit. But now Dudley, Solace is after having 3 positions down, or sorry, 2 positions down in the last half of a lap, which is not ideal at all. But he just needs to get his head back in the game. That's all he needs to do. I'll go with this view. The interior view in the Lamborghini isn't great. He's doing enough to stay ahead. And in fairness, Richard is doing a great job there as well, because that's what he's looking at behind him. 2 cars hungry to get by. That McLaren does sound awesome, doesn't it? Oh, there's another car goes very, very wide ahead. That looks like Gary. Jumping on with Chris here. That's what Chris is looking at. And then behind, you can see that battle in the distance. You can say he's comfortably 2 seconds clear at present. Ooh. See, these 2 guys here, I think, have better race pace, but then again, Gary is now 4.6 seconds off the Madman Sky here. And that's Sky's view now. Race leader Nicholas DeSantis. Antonio is now only a second off him, and Sky's 1.4 seconds clear. So Sky's not really attacking. Sky's just doing his own race at the minute. And you can't fault him for that at all. Oh, Solace got by just as we go on. Oh, Dudley gets very deep. So Solace back by. Can feel very, very, very calm. He's doing a great job. Okay, so Antonio is starting to push in a little bit now. What can he do? I'd be very shocked if he can get by. Nick has just been so good. Sky's just sitting there maybe hoping for the guys to start getting involved with each other. because that'll give him time then to get the move done as well. They can start losing time fighting with each other. The track is staying consistently at 33 degrees so far. It has not changed at present at all. So quite a warm track out there as well. This battle is developing, but I just don't know how long it's going to take. So now Christie's in himself a bit of a sandwich at the minute. He's 1.1 seconds off, so he's losing a bit of time there to Solace. Although Solace's bad corner there puts him right back into it. But Dudley is also right there, and Swift is starting to get closer as well. So Swift is going to be involved in this very, very soon. So you kind of got to think, if you're Dudley or Christie here, would you jump for the pit now to get clean air? Like, it's always something I don't understand with a lot of the drivers. Why don't you just jump in, get the pit stop done now? They will be in clear air, that's an absolute given, and they can just get on with the race. And then after the guys ahead do their pit stops, then they'll see exactly where they are. At least they won't be losing time then racing hard. Hard on the brakes, not bother though. Beautifully done, beautifully done. Christie's doing a great job out there. Jump back on with Antonio, who is getting closer. Great stuff. I'm just enjoying this race, guys, as it continues, but I'm going to jump on with Christie here because he's getting very, very close. Very, very close now. Great stuff. Is he going to get it? Is he? No, he's not. And Dudley's right there as well. So now it's going to really develop into something really, really big. Yeah, there's not much happening for them. It's going to be a tough slog, and Swift is right there with them, so they really do need to kind of start pushing forward. Interesting, interesting. Antonio is so close now. Have to say he's been super fast this season. Nick DeSantis getting much faster as well. And DeSantis, I think, was also in an NSX and changed his car to this Porsche, and now, oh, that Honda of Antonio getting very, very close, and they're after leaving screen now 4.2 seconds behind. He's 4 seconds clear then of Gary. These two are having a right battle here. Is he gonna get it done? He is. Oh, I don't know. He is. He's finally got him by after a small bit of an error. He's come back up to him, but look at Nick is not going anywhere. Nick is tucked in right behind and getting a tow. Hazard lights on from Antonio. You gotta love Asprey, he's a mad one. And that was a lovely move, and that is the race lead, and already he's about a second clear of Nick already. Antonio definitely giving it the beans now at the minute. Oh! Nick's after completely losing it, and big damage there. What happened here? Did he touch the grass? Oh, just the rear went. Oh, that's a very rare mistake from Nick. At least he done it right beside the pit, so he's in. And also in is Christie and Dudley. Oh, wow. How long is he going to be in for repair? Let's look at the statistics here. So DeSantis, I'm just looking at the time that he stopped. 17 seconds stopped. Richard Christie, quite a long time stop. Like Dudley was only 6 seconds stop. Richard Christie obviously has a bit of damage. 21 seconds stopped. Oh wow. Frederiksen was obviously in the pits. He had 35 seconds of a stop, so obviously a lot of damage there. But Dudley there, splash and dash, and Dudley is ahead of Nick DeSantis. So it just goes to show you, and that's after ruining DeSantis' race. Oh my god. Didn't expect that. So now Gary up into third position at the minute. This is changing. Wow. Did not expect that at all. Now Antonio has a bit of a buffer. He can just focus on what he needs to do, but even for Sky, he just needs to focus. He is, you can see Gary 4.5 seconds off him. Chris Vickers 1.5 seconds off him. Then Solis 7.5 seconds down the road, but has recovered. The main thing has recovered. Swift then in 6th position, Niall in 7th, Ambernosa in 9th and 8th, and then everyone else behind has pitted once. So Dudley is ahead of Nick DeSantis, who had a bit of an error. So Solis, what happened to you, madman? Gets a bit loose. Oh, it snaps. Does well to hold on to it, but goes So he's gone for the scenic route around Snetterton. I think he just wanted to see the views there. But luckily for him, out in 7th position, could have been a lot worse. At least there's no damage on that car. That's all I'd be worried about there. So there's that. Now Boolean and Swift up ahead of him. Swift having a great race. What can Vickers do with Mr. Gary? So he's only 1.4 seconds off. He's pulled in 3/10, and Gary's lost a bit of time now to Skyler as well. He's 5.7 seconds off. So Sky's obviously just cruising, doing his own thing out front in 2nd position. Although we're going to jump on now with Mr. Nick side by side with Dudley, and gets the job done there. And through he goes. That Porsche obviously quite a bit faster than the Lambo. I love the way Nick flies the flag high for ERA and for myself, Horsebox James, but especially for the league ERA. Lovely to see that on his car. As he's tipping around there still at the minute, and he's pulled point. Yeah, he's pulled a good bit away. I'm going to jump on with Boolean now. We're starting to hint at getting in a bit closer to Swift ahead. That's Swift just ahead of him there now. The Scotty man himself. I'm with Sky here now, so that's how far Mr. Antonio is ahead of him. Hard on the brakes he goes. So Antonio 3.2 seconds clear. Skyler's pulled in a little bit of time, a few tenths there in the last lap. And last lap, yeah, he was 3 tenths faster. So Sky may be looking after his tyres, might be playing to his advantage here. Although he missed a lot of the apex there, but gets it back going anyway. So at the minute I do feel Sky will pull Tony in a little bit. I think Tony's used a bit of his tyres. Then again, he still has a lot of pace in the Honda. It's quite spread out at the minute. I love what Sky's done with that livery. I really do. It's an absolutely brilliant job he's done. I love that livery, just keep laughing at her. Chris is getting closer to Gary. Chris is definitely getting closer to Gary. So Gary in the Smiths, or pits, in the pits. Let's see what Mr. Smith can do. Although, probably at the minute not at major. He's doing a good job of it, all the same. Right, so Bullion and Swift here are still very close together as well, within 2 seconds of each other. Now Solace as well, not too far off. Nicely done. Guys, we're nearly halfway through this race already. Sky doing a fantastic job, and he's slightly faster than Antonio the last lap, a 0.03 of a second exactly. So Antonio's fast after 146.555, Sky's 146.902, both in the 147s, and are the fastest men on track. So Nick DeSantis is 8 seconds off Gary. So that's the distance there. You see Nick coming around the last corner, Gary crossing over that start finish straight. 7.8 seconds clear. Oh, a bit wide he goes. Race leader. Keeping Sky at bay, that's all he needs to do. He's doing exactly that. Great stuff. Oh, Bodian's after having enough, let's go back and have a look there. I was just enjoying, you know, what do I say there? Oh, the sausage carb. But you know what? He's just doing it for the crowd there. Look at the crowd going wild in the background. Niall just absolutely winning those brownie points with the crowd there. Unfortunately for him though, it's after putting him right on the heels of, as I say that, he goes into the pits. So Arbor knows it does get by, he's not even going to try and fight that one. Great stuff there from Ambernosa. Julian still in the pits. Did he get damage? He's doing tyres, is he? He must be doing tyres. He's in there quite a time. He should be coming out any second now if it's tyres. Yeah. 35-second stop, so he has stopped and done tyres. Wow. So fastest pit stop time has been Dudley at 0.6 or 6/10 of a second, or 6 seconds stopped, sorry. Looking at all wrong. Gary was 8 seconds stopped, and the rest were 17 upwards. So we're halfway through this race now, guys, and yeah, still very interesting to see what's going to happen. Sky is about 3.5 seconds clear, or less now, but then again, that's breeze after doing the exit. 3.2 seconds clear, 3.3, 3.4. Give Fredrickson a bit of a look as well. Because still great points. 12 spot, still very good points as well. So good to see. Fair play to Ferguson, 147.9, so he's on the pace anyway. Mr. Boolean back on. Richard there as well. Christy doing a great job there. Looking there. So it's I'm finding it very tough to know, has Vickers got ahead of Gary from Gary pitting or not. And I wouldn't be a mathematical genius or anything. Let's see, says the blind man. I have to say, I really do love that livery, Chris Vickers. Solid's back doing steady work anyway. So Sky, he's not dropping any time towards Antonio, but he's not really gaining that either. They're pretty much on par. Last lap, yeah, you can see he was slightly faster. Was slightly slower that lap, so they're trading the time back and forward at the minute. Be interesting to see will either of them pit, and I'm just looking to see, was there anything else going on. Richard Christie actually had a 15-second time penalty as well, so that probably didn't help him in his pit stop situation actually. Sky looks like he's starting to catch a little bit there. He's definitely a little bit more closer than what he was. .2, you can see it on the live in the bottom part of it. 2.2 seconds, 2.4. Lovely driving by Sky there. I'm wondering, will the NSX be tuning its tyres now? Hard on the brakes. Sky's doing a great job. 2 seconds off, so let's see. Antonio's last at 48.7. There must have been an error. 47.7, so a full second faster. So Antonio obviously had a little bit of an error, had a squeaky bum moment, and is now paying for it. Only 2.3 seconds clear. Speaking of getting close as well, Gary's getting very, very close to Ambrinosa, who is yet to pit. And Gary has pitted, so Gary would ideally hope Nelson pits soon, so he can just continue doing his own thing. The last thing you want to be doing is fighting Nelson, because at the end of the day, Nelson won't have to get out of his way, because officially they're fighting for the same bit of track regardless of the pit stop. He won't have to give up that position. And even it's GT rules anyway, when you see a blue flag you do not have to get out of the way. He's definitely pulling in time, and you gotta think Mr. DeSantis though is coming at him. So Nicholas was just oh, Gary gets a bit out loose there. Nicholas was only about 8 seconds off. He's only 2 seconds off now. So Nicholas has been pulling into that lead after Nick had that incident. So Gary will just need to really keep his concentration now as a jump on back with Skyler. He's still trying to make that impression, I think, at the minute. There's Fredrickson, and looks like that looks like Chris Vickers going to come up to lap him soon enough. Where's Adam Locke actually? Lovely stuff there. Skyler now is getting very, very close. Last lap he was a tenth slower than Antonio. But look at every single lap, it is getting closer. Perfect. So this is getting very good, and now for Gary as well, it's getting quite feisty, because he does need to get by him. He's after putting in so much time to Nelson. He can't afford to be losing any time fighting, because he'll need to keep any tyres that he has for when that portion in the background gets up. So he's probably going to hope Nelson isn't putting up too much of a fight. Look at Nick is after flying, and he's only 1.1 seconds off, so Nick is right on this case now as well. So Gary is going to be under pressure now. And that's essentially a possible third position he could be losing right now. Ain't that tough? Ain't that tough? Let's see what he can do, because he needs to do something. Oh, Gary is under severe pressure now. There's no other way of saying it. He can't be affording this too much longer. He needs to get the job done. Otherwise, bye-bye podium. And that's not what he wants at all. Oh, he might have the job here now. Nelson's got him by the looks of it. Now Nelson is tucking back in, so for Gary now, he wants to hope Nelson slows Mr. DeSantis down a bit. Oh, Nelson runs massively wide, as does DeSantis. Oh, wow. Well, Nicholas gets by, Nelson goes down a few positions. Now it's going to be all about how can he get his head back into it and keep going. Wow. Oh, they're all pushing so hard here now. Skyler's after, oh my god. He's after having a huge incident there. Has to be this. Oh, he lost it going in around the corner. Wow. Quite a bit of damage there, and on that mark, he'll definitely feel that. Does he pit now? No. Oh wow, Gary's under severe pressure as well. Nick DeSantis is on him. Wow, wow, wow. But the main thing is now, it's all about defensive racing if Gary can do it, because Nick obviously has the pace. But what can he do to keep Mr. DeSantis behind? If he can do anything. Oh, I feel so bad for Sky. So bad for Sky there, because that's going to be quite a bit of time lost in the pits now as well. Oh man. So we're down to the last 15 minutes, guys. And this is where it's spicing up now. The last few pit stops still need to be done. So realistically, we're looking at 8, 5th onwards have to pit. So 6 and 7 Gary and this Nicholas have, and 9th backwards have. So half the grid still yet to pit. And it literally can go any way. Does Asprey pit now? Like, I think Asprey should be in the clear. So I think if Sky has to fix that damage, that could put Chris Vickers right close to him. And essentially these two as well. And Sky's losing chunks of time now compared. So I think Sky should possibly pit, as that front end definitely needs repairs. With every single corner, he's losing time. So Nicholas is looking for a way by Gary. It's easy getting close, it's hard getting by. Oh, he's gonna go for it. He's gonna go for it. Gary has the optimal line, but Nicholas will have the better exit. Nicholas still looking for it. Gary's just planting the car where he needs to. These two guys, very experienced racers, both of them. Unreal. Wowzers. So Sky is losing a chunk of time now to Antonio. I'm surprised he hasn't just decided to pitch it. It's a lot of damage. Like, yeah, Sky's doing 149s now, Antonio's 147s. Vickers in the 148s, everyone else is in the 148s. So Antonio is the fastest man on this track by quite a distance. And these two guys in the 149s, because they're fighting so hard with each other. So that's actually helping Chris Vickers. Oh, Sky runs, or not Sky, sorry, Nicholas runs very, very wide. Interesting. So Nelson's obviously pitted guys as well while all this battling's going on. We're down to the last 10 minutes, so the top 5 have 5 minutes to pit. I think the sooner to do it, the better, to see where we are. So race leader is jumping into the pits now. So let's see the Sky jump into the pits. So that's Antonio is in the pits. So Sky is staying out. Will Chris jump into the pits? Yes, he does. What about Swift? So to be honest with you, what, 8 seconds Antonio was stopped there as well. Swift stays out. Does Swift get out ahead? He doesn't. Oh, he does. He gets out ahead of Antonio, but still has to pay. Chris Vickers stopped for 5 seconds. And Solace out there as well. So Solace, Swift and Davis have to pay. Surely next lap. So Antonio's only half a second off Swift. But it's quite a bit clear of Chris Vickers. Now, my interesting thing, or the thing I'm very interested in, because this could be the game changer with Sky. When does Sky pit? Well, he needs to pit in the next lap, or 2 laps max. But how much of that damage does he fix? How much time can he lose? This is now a game of chess, trying to figure this stuff out. Because this really does make the difference now. Asprey sitting there. DeSantis still behind Gary. Both of them pushed into the 148s again because they were starting to drift off away, which they can't be doing from Mr. Vickers. So Chris Vickers obviously done a great job. 5 seconds clear of Gary. So that pit stop for Gary and fighting has, I think, cost him. Now he's had a few little off the track moments. So Chris Vickers looking very, very tasty for a podium. But this man here, if he pits, Will he be giving up second place? How much damage is there? He'll be in this lap. Swift is in the pits. Let me keep an eye on the stats here. So Asprey was 8 seconds stopped. Chris Vickers fastest one so far, 5 seconds stopped. Oh, we saw this in as well. Swift 8 seconds stopped. Let's see about Solace. Solace a bit longer. 12 seconds stopped. So now this man will be going into the pits this lap, otherwise it's game over. Does he fix the damage? That is the question. If I was him, yes, because he's still sitting in the 149s. He's at least 2 seconds slower than what he'd been averaging when he was racing very, very close with Antonio. I feel so bad for Sky because this was looking like a very, very good race for him. Now it still is, don't get me wrong. A podium will still be amazing. But just depends after he fixes all that damage because he's losing so much time. Oh, and into the pits he goes. So I'm going to stand with Chris Vickers because this is the battle I'm more interested with Sky. So let's have a look from the clock the minute it starts going from being stopped. No, Sky's literally splashed and dashed it, guys. 8 seconds stopped. He wasn't taking any chances. And that's Sky out of the pits ahead of Vickers. But if he's running 2 seconds a lap slower, or even a second and a half, Chris Vickers should get the job done. Can Sky do anything to hold off Chris Vickers now, because Vickers has 0 damage. And Vickers pulling in already. While this battle's going on, wow, you got a feel for this guy here, Nick DeSantis. An amazing pole lap time in quali. But after an unfortunate incident is now stuck behind Gary, and Gary somehow keeping him at bay. Unreal. A little bit wide he goes. So what can Chris Vickers do? Although it looks like Mr. Sky is able to keep the pace up a little bit here. Maybe Chris might have an answer for Sky here, because Sky has picked up the pace again. It's a game of chess that we have 4 minutes to go to see who wins, but I think Sky now has picked it up a little bit, just enough. So Sky done the absolute right thing by not fixing that damage, because Chris isn't making the inroads that I was expecting, to be fair. Sky with that damage. Oh, Chris there is after pulling in about half a second. What will be 3 minutes to go, guys, before the final lap. So Nick DeSantis, I think, is starting to feel that maybe 5th position is the best he can get. Unfortunately tonight it just hasn't been his night. He did start in 1st position, is down for Antonio Asprey up 2 positions, started 3rd. Skyler started second, that is in second. Vickers started fourth. Smith's actually started sixth, so Smith's up a few positions. Swift is up three, Dudley's up three, Christie's where he started, Solis is down 4 positions, Fredrickson's down 5, and everyone else is up. So yeah, it's been quite interesting. Oh, I tell you one thing, Nicky is I think he's struggling for grip now, big time. So Chris, while getting close to this guy, I just don't think we'll have the time to pull in anymore. Skyler, oh, Nick's gone into the pits. He hardly got a drive through there. I think he did, because that was definitely track limits for Nick. Oh, from bad to worse, does Dudley get by? He does. Oh my god, Christie's gonna get by as well. Oh, track limits have been a pain for him, and unfortunately running too wide has gotten to him in the end. Oh, my heart goes out to Nicky. Fair play to the guys here, like Chris Vickers, great job. Sky's done a phenomenal job. The gap is down to 1.6 seconds. But I just don't think there's going to be enough time, as Antonio's coming around now, which will be essentially the last lap now he's going on to. So Antonio doing a great job. And we're on to the last lap with him. So let's join him for it.
Right, man, neither is on the final lap. Give it all you can.
Job done. Lovely stuff, lovely stuff. Vickers getting agnetizing the clothes. I can't even speak. Out by himself there, just enjoying life. The Sour Patch Kid himself. Flashing the lights along, happy as Larry Downey is. He's done an absolutely unreal job, let's be fair about this. And Tony, if you're listening, throw on the hazards. As he goes around now onto the main straight. Guys flashing and not a bother to him. And across the line for a great win, let's be fair. Great job by Antonio. In second position, look how close it got now between Vickers and Sky. A drag race. Sky throws on the hazards. And Vickers then, fair play. Then we've got Gary then in 4th position. So Gary's catching up with them. Great job by Gary. Swift then coming up into 5th position. As he cross line, then Dudley in 6th with Christie right behind him there in 7th position. Dudley throwing that car around. Then Nicholas in 8th position. Solis in 9th position. And Bullion still coming around there now. He was very unlucky with a bit of a spin. He could have been a lot further up the road and possibly a position or two more. Quite unlucky. But still, a very, very good job from him. As he goes through, then Nelson coming along. Well done to Nelson. And then the last guy to cross the line then, Mr. Fredrickson. Fair play to him as well. And job done. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Guys, an absolutely great race, and next week is the very last race in the season. Let's hope there's a few more join in for that one. And Antonio obviously has to be the favourite now, but then again, who knows? Who knows, guys? But that's been absolutely unreal. There's no other way of saying that. But oh, I see Skylar and Antonio are in for a chat, so I might as well jump in, guys. Bear with me a second. What's the crack, lads? How are you doing? Tony, great race.
Thanks, man.
How was that for you? How was your race, Tony?
Yeah. Oh wait, I had your stream open. I thought, oh my god, I thought you were talking, but okay, that was weird. I just had a massive like brain. Oh my god. Sorry, can you repeat that?
He's asking how was your race.
Oh, okay. Oh my god, I was so lost right there.
That's why I was thinking. I was asking the question. There was nothing. I was just like, what?
Yeah, just an awkward silence.
I was like, why did you jump into this chat if you're not talking?
Okay.
Yeah, do you want to walk us through your race?
Yeah, my race was pretty well. At the start, I didn't get pole. Nick got that. But I knew I was a little bit faster than him after a few laps, so I kind of stayed by him and waited for him to make a mistake, and got by him eventually. And then he had like an incident after I got past him, so.
And I suppose then at the end for yourself, then, like once you seen what happened with Sky, like was it just for you then, just a matter of just driving it easy, getting it home, and?
Yeah, I was actually at 3 warnings at the last couple of laps, so I was completely cruising. It was like a Sunday drive. Yeah,
I think the only drive-through tonight was actually Nicholas DeSantis got one fairly close to the end there. But honestly, great race for you, and I'm pretty sure you're favourite now for this championship at this stage.
Yeah, me, Sky, or Vickers. It's a 3-way battle.
It's a 3-way, which I would never expect to happen. It's been a great season for me, and it's down to consistency, but it's definitely been an American takeover this season. Let's be very fair about that. Sky, we'll jump on to you. How did you held on to second? I'll never know. That was massively unfortunate losing it like that. But yeah, how tough was it for you after that? Because you were laughing at the 149s for a lot of that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was doing pretty well. I was keeping up with Tony, just maintaining his pace, which was nice. That's what I wanted to see. And then started gaining a little bit more. I think his tires are starting to go off. And he was also trying to do some math in his head, which definitely distracted him. But yeah, and then I thought, okay, I might have a chance to get him in the pits. But then unfortunately the rear end kicked out on me. I was running around with 15 seconds of damage there for like the last 15, 20 minutes or something like that, which obviously I lost just tons and tons of time. But I couldn't afford to fix it, obviously, because then I would have lost third or maybe even more, depending on how long it would have taken. So, yeah, I was just hanging on for dear life there at the very end. Couldn't have gone one more lap, I don't think.
Yeah, no, I to be honest with you, I honestly thought Vickers was going to do it, but you had a great outlap, it seemed, and that's, I think, what saved you. You just seem to not lose much time on your outlap, which definitely saved you there. But Sky, my heart went for you when you lost that time, because honestly, the way you were going, I really thought you were going to win it. When I was looking then, Tony was starting to lose something. I really did think Tony's tyres were going as well. So I thought the race was going to come to you through the pits, if I'm absolutely honest. So, but look, you done a great job to hold off Chris as well, right at the end as well. Great job from both of you, and Chris as well for you. Are you delighted with that podium?
Yeah, because I wasn't expecting anywhere near a third place.
And how was the race for you? Because I know you were fighting with Gary for a while, and then obviously Gary pitted, and I think because he was racing so hard then with Nick, it really gave you a nice kind of bit of advantage. Then by the time you pitted, you were about 5 seconds clear of him.
Yeah, to be honest, I wasn't so much fighting Gary. I was fighting to keep up with Gary. And then it seemed like, I don't know if he was pushing too hard, but he was getting a bit skatey on the in the Honda.
I think that's just the Honda.
Yeah, and that's it. It probably cooked the tyres a little bit. So he seemed to have boxed early. I don't know if that worked out for the worse for him, because I think when he come out, he was doing sort of mid 48s at most. Yeah, and that just allowed me to make the gap big enough for me to put a pit stop in there and come out in front. It helped that he was fighting DeSantis, I think, as well.
Yeah, Nick was right on him for a lot of it, but then Gary done enough to hold him off as well. So definitely, I think that definitely helped yourself and Sky, because if they weren't heavily fighting each other, it could have been a different story for both of you then near the end of the race. But great driving from like the top three there, great driving. Like Chris, you done nothing wrong all race. You just raced your own race. Sky,
I had to. There was no one around me.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. You weren't over driving it. You were just consistent. You were just sticking to the task at hand. Like Sky, you were the same as well. It was one small moment. Unfortunately, that was the nature of that bend. When you lose it there, there's only one place you're going to go. And but look, honestly, guys, great jobs from all of you. And Gary's in here as well. So Gary, 4th position. I'm sure you're quite happy with that after, obviously, the hard battling as well with Nicholas.
Yeah, delighted. Like I hadn't done any kind of practice runs all week. Just I jumped on this morning and kind of threw a setup together. So yeah, coming forward to great results, like way ahead of where I thought I would end up. But yeah, I think the car itself, you know, halfway through the stint, the rear tires were just absolutely gone, and then I had like pressure warnings and all that crap from probably milling the curbs out of it, you know. But,
Jesus.
Yeah, tough race, but fun. Like, Nick was all over me, though, I have to be honest.
I was watching.
Oh, jeez, man, I need a shower after that.
And are you going to stick with the Honda next season?
No.
I gathered.
No. I tell you, it's very fast, but it's not a good race car. Over the hour, it's just too inconsistent, surprising. Kill you randomly, all that shit, you know. So
yeah, it's a wild car. It is a wild car. But guys, you've done a great race, and next week now is the season finale. I'm really looking forward to it, guys, because it still can change so much. And if we get the other half of the field to actually join in for the last race, it'd be nice to see then exactly who was where. But honestly, well done for tonight, guys. I'm going to end the stream there as well. And thanks anyone for watching. It's a bit different being on YouTube. And have a great evening, everyone.